Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a great weekend. And especially good morning to the kids, boys and girls. I asked Gavin a couple of weeks ago if I could talk to you about serving, which is the second gift of the Spirit that we're going to be looking at this summer. But I wanted to explain a little bit, what do we mean by spiritual gifts? Some people, you might hear, call them motivational gifts. And what that is it's gifts that God has given to each one of us through His Holy Spirit, that we can bless others and live out our potential, our own potential. Most people will find one of these gifts stand out to them as something that they're particularly good at or enjoy doing more than others. But don't worry if you don't know yours yet. Maybe you will by the end of the summer, but don't worry if not. I didn't know my own until I was 21. So before I go on, I want to tell you a story from the Bible. Jesus and his disciples were getting ready for Passover. While they were eating dinner, Jesus had a lot of things on his mind. He knew that one of his friends was going to betray him, and he also knew that God had a plan and had everything under control. After dinner, he got up, got a bucket of water, and started washing the disciples' feet. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you will understand." "No," said Peter, "you shall never wash my feet." And Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." "Then, Lord," Simon Peter replied, "not just my feet, but wash my hands and my head as well." The problem was, usually only servants wash people's feet, and Jesus was a king. A king shouldn't be washing anyone's feet, but Jesus did this to teach his friends a lesson. What do you think that lesson was? That's right, that we should help people. Jesus was telling his disciples that everyone should be a servant and help the people around them. When he'd finished washing their feet, he asked, "Do you understand what I've done for you? You call me teacher and Lord, and that's right, because that's what I am. But now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I've done for you." When Jesus did that a lot, he really liked to lead by example, and that was exactly one of the examples that he's given us, is to serve each other, to humble ourselves. Okay, let's have a bit of interaction. I'm going to ask some questions, and I want you to type your answers into the chat box at the side. So I'll give you a wee second to just get ready to do that. And maybe grown-ups, you could help some of the younger kids with that, if you don't mind. Okay, so question number 1. What are some of the jobs that need to be done around your house? So some of the chores that you maybe do at home. Now those could be weekly chores, daily chores, things you need to do every single day. Maybe some chores that only need to be done once a year, perhaps cleaning out the gutters. I doubt many people will be asking their kids to climb a ladder and clean the gutters in the home, but yeah, it doesn't need to be limited to just the chores that the kids do. What are maybe some chores for the grown-ups? Okay, my next question then is, who does these jobs? Who carries out these jobs? So cleaning the gutters, that might be Dad's job. Or perhaps Dad pays somebody to come around a couple of times a year and do it like I do. There's no chance you're getting me up on a ladder to clean the gutters. What about washing the dishes? Whose job is that? Okay, hopefully we've got some answers in the chat now. All right, thank you guys. Thinking back then to the last time you were in church. I know it was a long time ago now, and some of the younger boys and girls might not remember, but let's see how we get on. But again, typing your answers into the chat if you can. Question number 1. What are some of the jobs which need to be done before church each week? So before church can start on a Sunday morning, what are some jobs or some chores that need to be done before church can start? So for example, setting up the chairs, setting up the band equipment. I wonder if anyone's got anything else on that. Okay, great. Question number 2 then. Question number 2. Again, typing your answers into chat if you can. What are some jobs which need to be done during church? So after everything's been set up, chairs have been done, the chairs have been set up, the band equipment's all been set up, sound check's been done, and everyone's starting to arrive. What are some jobs that need to be done during church? Maybe somebody welcoming people to the building or to their room, giving a kids talk, which actually takes a lot more time to write than you might think. So that's a job that needs to be done before and during church. Okay, hopefully we've got some good answers there. All right, question number 3, moving on then. What are some jobs which need to be done after church? Let's have a think about that. Any jobs that need to be done after church, or chores that need to be done. For example, putting the chairs away, or cleaning and putting away mugs or plates that we use. Are there any others? A good example that I thought of was cleaning the toilet. It's not something we have to do at the sports centre, but if a church has their own building, for example, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to clean the toilet, and that's not a nice job, I can tell you. Okay, right, hopefully we've got some good answers again. All right, last question then. Who does these jobs? So we looked at the chores that need to be done at home, and we've looked at who does those chores at home, but who does these jobs at church? Before, during, and after? Put your answers in the chat to that question. We've managed to list a lot of jobs that need to be done, both at home and at church. But for you kids, I don't need answers into the chat anymore, but have a think. What do you think it sounds fun to have to do every single one of those chores every week, every day? Would you like to do all of it by yourself? I certainly wouldn't. But everybody in the church chips in and serves in their own way. By doing that, we're able to divide up the work and get it done quickly and easily. If everybody picks up 1 or 2 chairs, then it only takes 5 minutes even to pack everything away. What I'm trying to get at here was that Jesus was the greatest person to ever have lived, and he made sure to serve those around him. He wasn't too good to wash other people's feet. He wouldn't have been too good to pick up a chair and put it away in the cupboard after church. It's not often that we wash people's feet nowadays, but hopefully by asking some of these questions, putting our answers into chat, we've worked out that there's some other ways that we can help in that you can help people in your life. I want to challenge you all, boys and girls, today, or rather this week. Have a look at some of those jobs that you've put in the chat that need to be done around the house, and see if you can pick up 1 or 2 of those. If your mum or dad, if there's a job there that your mum or dad do, can you do one of those jobs for them? Can you serve your mum and dad by doing those jobs? Or even helping out with it if maybe if there's some children that are a bit too young to do the dishes all by themselves. Could you help with that this week? I think that would be good, and I think that would be a really good way of starting to understand what serving is all about. Thanks.